Hey guys, in this video I want to talk to you about how long it takes to make money on Clickbank. Now this is going to be a very candid video. I'm going to take you through all of the various factors that it'll take for you to actually start making money. So if you're a beginner, this is going to be ideal for you because you know the types of things you need to put in place to actually build a real business from Clickbank. So just before we start, my name is Richard Darby. This is the School of Nomads. If you want to have more videos just like this one, don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell, and I'll let you know as soon as I produce more videos. And if you're interested in building a long-term sustainable business online, check out the link in the description below over to the School of Nomads, and I'll take you through the whole process step by step. Okay, so let's jump straight into the topic. So how long it takes to make money on Clickbank is a question we get asked all of the time, and the answer is really the same if you're talking about any kind of online initiative that you're just starting out as a beginner. You've got to remember that everybody starts at a totally different place, and that obviously is going to affect the timeline that it takes for you to start making that money. So I'm going to go through all these various factors, but you've got to think about this very logically from the start. If I told 10 people randomly around the world we're all going to lose a stone in weight or 14 pounds in weight, and we just all went off and did it, everybody would have a different way of approaching it. Everybody would start from a different place, different fitness levels, all sorts of different factors. It's no different when you're talking about making money online. So I want to go through all these various factors so that you can start off on this journey and really understand what's needed and kind of where you are as far as the various skill sets you need. And then we can really assess when you're going to make a real business online, not just the odd sale here and there. We want to make a real sustainable business online. So there are a few things we're going to discuss here. One is kind of the roadmap of this journey and what needs to be put in place to get your success. Two are the various success factors. So what are the factors affecting the time it would take you to make money? Third is what the various promotion methods are and how that promotion method affects your timeline. And lastly, I'll talk through kind of a summary and our 3 secrets to success that you need to keep in mind whenever you're starting any kind of business online. So first up, we have the roadmap. So if I just go through kind of the major things that we'll need to do when we're starting a business online. So especially when we're talking about Clickbank in particular, but remember this is really about any kind of affiliate type programs. You need to go ahead and pick a good product and obviously a good niche. So it might be something as far as a niche is concerned that you're already interested in, and maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's part of your own job and you want to just do something online around that particular interest. Then within that you need to pick good products within Clickbank. Now I've got several videos which I'll link to here that show you how to go ahead and find a winning product on Clickbank, right? So that's something that we can do quite easily as long as you follow through those videos. Number 2, we need to set up our system. So there's lots of different things that we need to put in place to be able to work online, and I'm going to take you through some of those systems, and once we have those set up, then we know that once we start promoting, things are going to work very smoothly. Number 3, and a really big one, you need to develop whatever content you're going to have. So whether you're going to have some form of blog, whether you're going to have some form of YouTube channel, everything will need some form of content that you go ahead and develop if you do this the right way. Number 4, we're going to have to drive traffic. So we're going to have to determine how do we drive traffic into our particular system to go and view our content and then go ahead and buy our products. So we're going to have to go through how we drive traffic. And number 5 is all about rinsing and repeating. So once you've got a winning process in place, you then go ahead and just continue to develop content, and then you drive that traffic and you make those sales. So this is your full roadmap to success. And remember, I haven't actually mentioned a timeline yet, and there's a reason for that, and I'm going to go through the various factors. So let's talk about some of our success factors. So there's 2 major groupings here. The first one is the practical factors that we need to think about. Now, you've got to think about where you are on this particular ladder, right? As far as learning and all of the various things around the actual practical things that you need to understand to make a business online. So the first one is on Clickbank. Obviously, I've talked about we need to find a great niche on Clickbank, something that's actually going to resonate with people and something you're going to be interested in providing content for. Then you're going to have to go off and find a good product that we know is going to be a product that people want to buy. And there's ways that you do that, and I've already explained that. I've got a video that actually explains how to do that. Then you can see if there's any kind of affiliate material that is going to give you a head start when you're promoting that product. So lots of products on Clickbank have got affiliate libraries where you can go in and actually use some of their affiliate material. Now, I would never use that affiliate material as it stands. I would use that as my base and my inspiration for my content going forward. But it's always a good thing to have affiliate material to kind of start off with. And then you've got to think about how to promote that particular offer. So there could be various ways that you promote any kind of offer. You could promote things on Facebook. You could promote things in forums. It all depends what kind of niche they're in, because they've got slightly different audiences, and those audiences want slightly different things. So we've got to figure out how to do that. Then on the system side, you'll need to put in some very specific things if you want to build a real business online. So you'll need things like a domain name and a website. You'll need an autoresponder. You might need some graphics, so you can get them for pretty cheap these days. You might have some form of social media account that you set up, and you might need a page builder. Now, this all costs money, and I'll talk about the types of money that you need to spend on this over the next couple of slides. But initially, you'll need some investment. So if you think about the way that this works with any business, every business makes an investment to start with, and then over time, once you start making sales, you start actually making a profit. But initially, when you think about any kind of business, it always makes the kind of loss initially because it's made that initial investment to get set up. So this is one of the prime factors that you need to think about. Is there is a right way and a wrong way to do things on Clickbank. The wrong way is to go and grab a link and just throw it out to various social media sites and expect the odd sale. That's the very poor way of doing it. And again, look into the channel, I've got videos on this. The proper way to do it is by setting up a proper system, capturing people's emails, following up with them with value-based information, and then they're much more likely to actually buy off you. So this is why you need to put this system in place. But all of this takes time, right? Building websites, connecting autoresponders, building up a social media following, having a page builder that you can use, all takes time. And this is why, depending where you are already on your journey, this is going to be a major factor. And then around the content, you need to figure out what kind of content is going to be good for those particular offers. So you'll need to do keyword research. You need to go and learn that content, because you need to become a little bit of an expert. You don't need to be an expert as far as qualifications concerned. You just need to know more than other people. But you need to go ahead and learn some of that content. You need to develop that content in whatever format it's going to be, whether it's going to be blog posts or video posts. You need to develop that content, so you need to take time to actually script it or draft it. And then you need to decide on the format. So are you going to use video? Are you going to use blog posts? What is your format that you're actually going to use to start building content around your particular niche and offer? And then you need to go and obviously add that content. So you need to actually make it and add it. So all of this takes time. So think about, if I was going to start a business today, how long would it actually take me to set all of this up? Now, the second thing, and the more critical thing really, is the human factor around this. So the massive thing around when you're starting any kind of affiliate marketing, which is essentially what Clickbank obviously is your attitude, because this all takes time, and I'll talk about how much time I think it'll take you. This all takes time to actually set up. So you've got to have an attitude that is more long-term than short-term. So if you're expecting some kind of short-term riches, this video isn't going to be for you, so you might as well click off now, because this is a real business I'm talking to you about creating, not some kind of get-rich-quick scheme. So what you'll need is the right attitude. You'll need patience. You need a vision about where you want to be. You need some consistency around how you're going to be working on your business, and you'll need a lot of positivity, because you're going to go through times where you're not making sales, but you are making content, and you've got to think about, every bit of content I'm making today is going to be one that's going to, in 6 months' time, give me a sale. That's the way that our kind of headspace has got to be. And then you won't be thinking every single day, oh, I haven't made a sale yet, this is all rubbish. You're going to be thinking, right, everything I make today is a foundation for something that's going to happen in 6 months' time. That's the thinking that makes successful people successful. The second thing is around your responsibilities. So we're all different, right? Some people have got families, children, they have work responsibilities outside of their online career. They have different types of finances. So everything I talked to you about before, about the practical type elements, you might have different finances that affect the types of things you can get initially. You might have different types of health. You might have partners who you need to spend time on. All of these various different types of responsibilities. And I know from my own experience that I've got a family, and you have to work around your family commitments, you have to work around your children, and that takes a little bit of grit, right? Because you need to make sure that you're kind of splitting your time in the best way to actually make a success online, right? So the responsibilities is a really big one, and again, everybody's going to be different. That's why it's very difficult to give you a actual month and week that you're going to be starting making money on, because everybody who watches this video will be in a slightly different place. And then the overall time element here is how long will it take you to learn those skill sets. So things like page builders, things like autoresponders, things like building a website, all of those things take time, right? So you'll need to learn those skill sets. You don't have to be an expert in any of this stuff I'm talking about, but you need to learn basic skill sets initially. When you're a one-man band and you're starting out online, you need to learn how to do this stuff. You need to be able to build those systems, as I said. You need to be able to develop that content. So you need to figure out which content is worth developing and how can you do it as quick as possible with good quality to get it out there online. You need to build a following, so if you're going to be using social media as one of the places that you advertise, you need some form of following on that social media, especially if you're using free techniques. And then from an email marketing perspective, that takes time to grow an email list as well. Unless you're going to go ahead and use some spammy solo ad type method, it's going to take a lot of time to build a quality email list. And I'll talk to you a little bit about the different types of paid methods afterwards, but email marketing is not about quantity of emails you got on your list. It's all about the quality of those emails. So you've got to figure out how long it's going to take you to kind of learn all of these things. And I hope you're seeing now that when we talk about how long it takes to make money on Clickbank, just looking at these various factors, every single person who's watching this video will be starting from a different place. So it's very difficult to give you the one timeline for everybody. Some people might be super quick because they're already very technically astute. They've got very little responsibility. They can dedicate all their time to this. They might even be a copywriter in their spare time. All of these different factors will speed up your progress. The main thing is, if you've got patience and a vision and consistency, you will start making money online. It'll just take you a little bit longer. What are the various promotion methods and how does that really affect how long it'll take? So the slower route to make money online is using things like free traffic. Now, free traffic is basically things like YouTube, where I post this video on YouTube now, you come along and watch that video and that's completely free traffic. Or I'm trying to provide some form of value to you and you're watching that video based on the fact that you want to learn something. That's free traffic, right? And that's really, really good quality traffic, because hopefully people are going to learn something from this video. So you have things like SEO, which is basically around blogging, using those keywords that the Google search engines will pick up and start to rank your particular articles higher in the search engine so people will come across them. You have YouTube, which is all video based, obviously. And again, it is based on keywords. It is based on a lot of the ways that you actually put things in your title and description and tags. But essentially, YouTube is a video platform. And then you have things like social media that really, really do rely on you having a robust following, especially if you do it for free, and people who are actually liking your comments and making it all very viral. That's a very, very key thing if you're talking about social media. So all of these various methods will be driving people to your website, which is where essentially your offers will be. So from your website also, you'll be building an email list. So that email list, once we get our system in place, will be another place that once you start building it, you can add more and more messages to that email list to drive people back to various offers. And of course, that takes time once you're building that organically to actually get people on that email list and people actually start responding to your emails. Because it's completely free traffic, a lot of it is around building those relationships with people and getting to know those people, and then once they trust you, they'll end up buying off you. So the key thing is, in most marketing online, if you do it correctly, is building those relationships. So how much do I think this will cost you in the slower route? I think anything from $50 to $100 when I think about those types of systems that you'll put in place. Let's say the lower end of $50 a month will get you a page builder that you can use. It'll get you a website hosting, and it will get you an autoresponder that is going to be useful to you. That would be around $50 a month. And the $100 a month really is if you get slightly more expensive type page builders, etc. So really, if you're thinking about $50 a month would be your initial outlay here. And the time scale here will be around 3 to 6 months. And again, that's totally dependent on whether you can actually put enough content in these various platforms to actually drive a reasonable amount of traffic back to your website, because it really does depend on that. And what you'll find is maybe the first 3 to 4 to 5 months you'll get hardly anything, and it'll all be about building that content, and then you'll start to see that traffic. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear. You want to be thinking, oh, I want to go into Clickbank now and start making money straight away. But the sooner you start, the sooner you'll hit this 3 to 6 month mark, and then you'll forget about that initial painful period, and then you'll be able to start making some money off the internet, right? That's the reality of doing it the slower route. This is a route I actually still do now, and I use a couple of other things which I'll talk to you about my recommended method in a few slides time. So the faster route is basically using paid traffic, and you can use things like Google ads, you can use solo ads, you can use Facebook ads, YouTube ads. There's all sorts of ads, paid ads that you can make. But the problem with this is it's a lot faster. You do get people onto your email marketing list quicker. There isn't so much relationship building, but you can do that once you have them on your email marketing list. But it is very expensive and it is very haphazard. Solo ads is one that I don't like. That's why I put it in red there. If you get solo ads off anybody, they can give you a lot of traffic extremely quickly, but it's so untargeted, it's so bad quality, you don't even know if it's real. You may get 1 or 2 sales out of it, but the reality is you'll get 300 people on your list, and I've done this myself. You'll send an email out to them and not one person will respond because they're not real emails. They're just people who are being paid to click on adverts or enter their email address. And if anybody's had a different experience with solo ads and found somebody who's really good, has made them actual profit when they're using them, please leave a message in the comments below. I'd love to hear about that person because with my experience, they don't exist. Now, Google ads and Facebook ads and any of these other types of ads need a lot of optimizing. So you need to be a little bit of an expert on things like Facebook to actually get them to work over the long term, or even to get them improved, to be quite honest. So you've got to figure out a way to optimize those ads, and that costs a lot of money. And what you're really doing there in a lot of cases is just building the leads up. You don't make so many sales on those kind of adverts. Your back end needs to be really robust. So you're building up that lead, and then on the back end with your email marketing, that's where you're actually making your sales. Now, I've said here the monthly cost is probably going to cost you $300 to $500 a month. That's with the obvious systems that you've put in place. So the $50 to $100 that I already talked about is already still there. But you're also paying for all these additional advertising revenue, because a lot of these things, if you're spending less than $20 a day, you're not really going to get any kind of data from them to be able to optimize them. So it's extremely complex for a beginner to think about going on to Clickbank, grabbing an offer and building a Facebook ad around that offer. And the timescale could be as less as a month. You could do it in a day. If you use some kind of solo ad, you could make a sale with the solo ads, but I'm saying that is going to be very, very low quality, right? So I would say the timescale is more like a month, but again, this is very, very problematic. So let's talk about the various issues. I've gone through some of them already, but both methods have problems. Now, the slow method, it could be far too slow for you. I'm sure that when I said 3 to 6 months, a lot of people turned up their eyebrows and went, oh my God, this is going to be far too long. You might get bored, you might run out of patience, you might run out of time, you might just think, oh, I've had enough of this. You might start getting distracted, especially in the world of online marketing. You start looking at things like Warrior Plus and all of the releases that are there every single day. There's lots of shiny objects there. 95% of them are absolute rubbish, but people do get distracted with the fact that they're promising you money in a day, money in 24 hours, $100 days, all this crap, right? None of that is true. I'll tell you now, none of it is true, right? There's very few products out there that actually deliver on what they're promising on the front page. But there you are. That's what people get distracted by, and I was exactly the same for many, many years, buying all of that rubbish. And then you go ahead, like I say, and look for other methods. Now, the fast route is a big issue because you will start running out of money unless you've got loads of money to throw at this. You'll start looking for more products to promote because you'll be desperate to try and make more sales. You'll run out of patience. You'll get caught out by your lack of knowledge. So if you just jump into this and start trying to do advertising straight away, you won't really understand your full system and how it works properly and where that traffic is coming from and what kind of traffic you need to drive. You need to be kind of an expert on Facebook ads especially to kind of really understand the process. So you'll get frustrated with your lack of knowledge. Your lack of business knowledge will start to come to the fore because what will happen is you'll spend a lot of money on advertising, you'll pay a lot of money out on advertising, and you won't actually be making a profit at any point. And this is, again, I keep going on about solo ads. The classic thing about solo ads is that you'll pay for those solo ads, you'll make one or two sales, you'll have a lot of people on your list, but the reality is those people on your list won't respond to any kind of emails that you have or any kind of ongoing promotion. So the net will be that you end up losing money out of the whole thing. So it feels like you've done well when you first bought that solo ad, having those 2 sales, for instance, and having those people on your list. But over the next weeks or so, you'll realize that the rest of that was not worth a penny, right? So the long-term value of people on a quality list is really, really good. The long-term value of people on a really bad quality list is nothing, right? So it's pointless having those emails on there. So the lack of business odds will come to a fore, and you'll suddenly have no more time. So you'll have put this process in place. It'll be relying on paid ads, and you'll have completely no time to kind of really see the fruits of what you put in place. So it's kind of problematic. I'm going to tell you the kind of ideal way and the way that I'm doing this. So the preferred way to do this is the way that I go about doing this, and it's the slower route, but it's supercharged. But so basically, I use YouTube to put a lot of my content on, and what you do is you supplement that with a couple of paid ads here and there just to start testing, and you do them kind of very, very small investment in the paid ads, and then you build it up over time, and you can then tell what real difference this is making to your overall business. You're not dependent on paid ads, you're dependent on really just putting the content on whatever platform that you build, but then you can drive the odd paid ad to it and kind of test it, and this is the safer way. And you, of course, then you have this intermediate then between the kind of 6-month rule when you're doing slow traffic and the 1-month rule. You could be seeing any kind of success around 3 to 4 months in if you start supplementing a little bit of paid ads with your overall system. So this is far more safer, this is far more predictable, you've got a lot more control over it, and it is a lot more long-term thinking, but it is much more achievable. So this is the way that I go about it, and you could be expecting to see results, as I say, 3, 4, 5 months down the line if you kind of stick to this kind of process. But again, I will tell you, this is totally dependent on all of the different factors I told you before. A small percentage of you will start making online within 3 months. A much higher percentage of you will start making money online within a year. And then a much higher than that percentage of you, I'm afraid, will never make money online because you won't have gone through all of the pain that's required to actually get there and start building a real business online. And that's, at the end of the day, it's all about going through this learning curve to get to a place where you actually established a real business online. And a vast majority of people will never actually get there. So you need to think about what your kind of characteristics are, and are you able to think long term about this? And if you are, it'll give you a much better chance of making it a success. So kind of in summary, I want to talk about kind of the 3 secrets to success for affiliate marketing. First of all, you'll need patience. If you're talking about free traffic, it takes time. You need to think long term about it. You need to build up your following slowly. You need to build up your email list slowly. All of these things take time. Secondly, very importantly, you need to be consistent. So if you are posting to somewhere like YouTube or you're building a blog, you need to be very consistent around how often you build content into those particular platforms. And I'm not talking a few videos and blog posts here and there. I'm talking hundreds of blog posts and hundreds of videos to get your content going. So you've got to think about this in a really, really practical way if you're going to build a long-term business that's going to be working for you for a few years' time. And then you need to be providing value, which is really what I try and do in my business. I very rarely try and sell to people first off. I'm trying to provide value. I'm trying to give advice. I do have products that I obviously have that go into all these types of things in a lot more detail. But at the end of the day, you're trying to provide value to people. And if you can do that, then they're much more likely to go ahead and check out the other stuff that you've got, because the first thing you want to do is you want to help people, you want to provide value to people, and you want to see other people a success. And that's the only way that you really will be a success yourself. If you go on Clickbank, grab a link, try and just spam it to people and expect them to buy it off you. I don't really care what happens. That's not a successful business, and that's not the way to act online. So guys, thank you very, very much for taking the time to watch that video. I tried to go through it in a lot of detail. I tried to be very, very candid with you. I don't want to be telling you you're going to be making money in 2 weeks on Clickbank, but if you follow some of these kind of pointers and adjust your mindset and think about how you're going to build your business long term, then you've got a much, much better chance of success. Now, if you want to have any more information about this in much greater detail, go ahead and check out the link in the description below to the School of Nomads. I'm going to take you over to a product called the Simple Traffic Blueprint. And in the Simple Traffic Blueprint, I give you every single part of this in much greater detail and really show you how to build your online business. So if you're interested in doing that, go ahead and check that link out. You'll see it straight down below and we'll take you through it straight away. So thanks for watching, guys. My name is Richard Darby. This is the School of Nomads. If you want to have more content like this, please go ahead and hit the subscribe and notification bell, and I'll let you know as soon as I release new videos. And if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below. Until next time, guys, take care.